My siblings and I were raised with a very special privilege that I don't think many young people are privy to, and that is to be raised by both of our parents, father and mother, but also to be surrounded by both sets of our grandparents, my mother's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Miller, and my father's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Horowitz. And so this is a particularly difficult time for us because this is our first grandparent that we've ever lost. And we've been extremely close to all of our grandparents, having been raised in their presence and constantly seeing them on a regular basis. And so losing our Savta is definitely a very painful experience. And having seen that happen over the past couple days, well, it's really been past couple months. Around 8 months ago, our grandma Savta went to the hospital, and her condition started to deteriorate more and more since then, and up until the point where she has passed on. And thank God we're here to gather and eulogize her and remember her, because she truly was a great woman. And you know what I learned from her, seeing her as a paragon of femininity, a very aristocratic, sophisticated woman of European culture, but also the Middle Eastern fervor. And of course, her Judaism was so important to her, and she always made sure to tell us that all the time. You're Jewish, and you better remember that very well. And we definitely do. And it's a long-lasting message for all generations. And there's no question that we will remember her. And even her beautiful name, Rosana, which translates to Hebrew, Shoshana, rose. The rose is arguably the most beautiful flower, yet it is nestled between a bed of thorns. And that's the nature of the rose. And anyone who knew my grandma knew that she had a very strong character. And I found that to be one of my favorite things about her, is just how forceful she was in her opinion, in telling people how it was, putting them in their place. And, people need that. And it's very important. And I very much admire her for that trait. And she gave me my own fair share, so don't worry. But, thank God to have women like that, to have women who embody the maternal nature of what a Jewish mother is supposed to be, at the same time having the humanity and the sophistication of a worldly woman who understands all of the aspects of existence, and what it really means to be a human being in modern times and in past times. And that's very important. And I just want to share with you a dream that I had about her shortly before her passing, I'd say about a month ago. But I think it's kind of the last piece of the puzzle, because, she's a very intense woman and she has that harshness. But in this dream, I was visiting her mother, as you heard about her just now. Her name is Clementina. And her mother was known to be actually a very gentle woman, extremely soft and angelic, graceful woman. And we were visiting her. I and my grandma, my Savta, Rosana, were visiting Clementina in the hospital. And Clementina was sitting in the bed, and she was very calm and serene and smiling, and, just a really wonderful presence. And my Savta was kind of aggravated, and she told me, she's like, I just wish I could be like that. Like, I wish I could have that, presence of just calmness. And when I was visiting her probably about 2 weeks ago, she actually asked me to bring along a book. She's like, I want you to write my stories. So I brought my notebook there, and I was just writing my own perceptions of her and the situation. But I wrote that seeing her right now, she is definitely like her mother. And she is definitely fully taken on this embodiment of grace and serenity and this angelic presence, where anyone who was visiting her was treated with such kindness and was told such beautiful words about themselves and about what she felt about them, and just pure affection and love. And so she really did. She was the complete woman. And I pray to God that we can all learn from her message, from her story. One of the things that struck me today is this life on earth is temporary, yet it's so meaningful. And I find that it's almost a contradiction, right? If it's temporary, how can it be so meaningful? But each moment echoes in eternity, and we're experiencing unbelievable presence right now. And we all should take advantage of the time that we have in this life, in this body, on this earth, and learn from her and all of the greats, and she is among them. So may her soul rest in peace.